Hello everyone, welcome to OJ Patterns. So today we'll be working on that manipulation, and that manipulation can be defined as the movement of that from one position of the bodies to another to create a different style line, contour, and fullness. So we use that, we can move it from the bodies, like we move our shoulder that from one position to another in order to create fullness, to create style line, or to contour the bodies. So it is segmented into three. So we have that into different position, we have that into style line, we have that into fullness. So we'll be doing all of the above in subsequent videos. And then we have two different methods of moving that. We have the slash method and we also have the pivot method. So today we'll be looking at the pivot method using that into different positions. So we're doing that into different positions using the pivot method. So the first thing we want to do is once you get your bodies, try and complete your shoulder dart. So you pick the first dart leg to meet up to the second dart leg, and then you trace that fold. So once you trace that fold, it will give you the arc shape at the top. So this way you've completed your shoulder dart. You also do that for the waist dart. You have a straight line from your basic draft. Now all you have to do is close it up and trace in order to complete the waist dart, and then you trace out. So you trace out on a hardboard, like either your chipboard or if you have any other board you want to use too. So I've traced out my dart. So now we're using this to do our dart into different position using the pivot method. So two things to note when you are doing your dart manipulation is that you are moving and where you are moving it to. So you need to note where the dart you are moving. Like now I want to move my shoulder dart and I'm moving it to either the center front or towards the waist or the armhole or the neck. So you can move it to different positions. So you have to note where you want to move it to. So please take note of your through burst points. These are through burst points because it's very important. So the pivot method can go clockwise and anti-clockwise. So it can go towards the front, which is clockwise, and it can go towards the back, which is anti-clockwise. So we'll be learning how to do all of this. So what we want to do is now we have our through burst points. So you get your pattern that you already traced out, the bodies, either on the chipboard or whichever design you want to use. Now indicate where you want to transfer your dart to. So the first place I'm going to transfer my dart to is, let me use the armhole. So you get the point where you want to use it. So this is where I want to transfer it to on the armhole. So I'll just mark it here. So what we need to do is get the paper, place it this way. Please, let's pay attention to this. Now what you want to do is, this is your first dart leg. So you mark, indicate the first dart leg like this. So this is the first dart leg. Now from here, I'm going to be tracing from the first dart leg. What we are trying to do is move this dart to here. So at the end of the day, our dart will be transferred towards the armhole, and we'll take it out from here. So using this, we're moving it to this armhole. So I've already indicated the part. Remember what I said where you're moving it to. So we're moving the shoulder dart. So indicate your first dart leg like this on your paper, and then you trace using your pencil. I'm actually using this pen in order to bring it out. So you can trace all parts of the bodies. You can trace along it. Please ensure you have like a straight line. You can trace. Once you get here, indicate that's where your waist dart is. You want to ensure you hold it down. So you trace. You have to trace till you get to. You have to trace till you get to where you mark as you want as your dart. So I'll trace around the armhole and then I'll stop here where the opening is. Now what you need to do next is, now indicate, you can use your thumb tack to press on the through burst point and on the waist dart point. So this is the waist dart point. I'll just use my pen in so that it will reflect on the pattern paper. And on my through burst point, I would also do that. So you can use your thumb tack to just press it in here and press it in here. So if you have your thumb tack, next you hold your thumb tack in the through burst point, which is this part. So I'm gonna use my pen and then hold it down there. Once it's in there, you move. I'm moving it clockwise. You move from the first dart leg, you move it to this, to the second dart leg like this. So you move it to the second dart leg and you hold it on that point where you mark. So that's why we have to mark it up. I'll hold it down like this and then I'll remove my hand and then continue. Remember we traced from the armhole to where we indicated as where we want our dart to be. Now I'll continue at the top part like this. I'll continue tracing, and then I'll mark out the shoulder point like this. When you're done, you can now take it out. So see what we have here. Why I say you should use thumb tack so that it would reflect. The reason why you need to do that so that you can be able to connect your waist dart and then you can connect this to the true bust point. So the first thing I'm going to do is connect my waist dart. See, all the markings you do would help out when you're working. Now this is the opening that we've transferred it to the armhole now, so I'll have to connect it to the through bust point this way and then connect this way. So now we've moved it to the armhole. We've closed up the shoulder dart and you want to ensure your shoulder line is straight, so when you're done you come back and you connect this point to this point straight. So this is what we have, the straight line. So now we've transferred our dart to the armhole, so you can transfer to different positions as I said. So please, there's something you need to note as you transferring your dart. Something that makes a very good pattern is you always label. So what I'm going to do is label side seam, center front, and as well whenever you do your draft you can as well put a diagram to indicate that you know what you're doing. So the fact that this is the armhole, at the end of the day it's going to come out like this, so I'm just going to create a small diagram at the bottom part so that whomever is cross checking your work will be able to, whomever is looking at your pattern will be able to understand. So please, let's cultivate this habit. So whenever I see your pattern, I should be able to carry your pattern and understand what you did. So if you have like a diagram of what you did at the bottom part or at the side or anywhere, just to help out to be able to go a long way. So now this is the waist dart. So you know the waist dart comes like this and like this. Now we transferred from shoulder to armhole. So for the armhole, it's gonna come like this and it's gonna go like this. So this is what we have. Don't forget your CF is on fold. So this is how it is. This is the diagram for what we just did. Please, if you have any questions, don't forget to drop it in the comment section below and I will attend to it as soon as possible. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. Okay, next I'm gonna be transferring the dart to another position using the pivot method. So I'll transfer to, let's use the under armhole. So you select the points, don't forget, same thing we did, select where you want to transfer it to, the under armhole. Okay, so I'll move. So what we want to do is indicate where your dart leg is starting from, your first dart leg. I'm going clockwise. Indicate where your first dart leg is starting from. Now trace. Please, when tracing, you have to be careful. Trace. Ensure your line is straight. And if you are not so comfortable that you feel that your line might not be straight, so you can do this. I'll just trace the neck first, indicate where I want a straight line, indicate the bottom part. I'm showing you another method of tracing. So this one, you can use your ruler to complete it later. Indicate your waist dart, indicate it like this. Now indicate the side, indicate the side, and then indicate where the dart would make. So this is where we want our dart. We're transferring our dart to. Next, use your thumb tack to press on the waist tip dart, and then the true bust point, you hold it down on the true bust point, and then you move clockwise. See, your second dart leg is touching where you mark for the first dart leg. Next, you take it up. You continue from where, don't forget we trace to where we want to transfer our dart. You continue from here now. indicate, and then for the armhole I'll have to trace it out. Don't forget we didn't trace out all the parts, and then I'll indicate the top. So I'm gonna remove this. So you see we have the waist tip that one, we have this. So this way you can connect. That's why we have to just connect with your ruler. This way your line will be perfectly straight compared to, so if you're not comfortable you can try this method too, or you do the other one where you have to trace everything together. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. Now I'm gonna connect this. This is the where we transfer that dart to. Now using the thumbtack that we've done, I'll connect the waist dart. I'll complete my shoulder. Now from the through bust point, I'll connect to the new dart legs like this. Please always indicate. Now this is our new dart position. Remember what I said, you always need to label. So this is CF, this is side seam. So I can also draw the diagram at the bottom part this way. So for this, it's gonna come out like this. So this way, whoever is looking at your pattern would know that you know what you're doing. So this is the way that now this is underarm, so it's coming down like this and like this. So you see the difference. This one is beneath the armhole, while this one is at the armhole. So you're able to tell how it's gonna come out. So this is beneath the armhole. This is at the armhole level. Okay. So next we're gonna move it to another.